Hello and welcome. My name is Kristen Hotop. I am so glad that you are here today to learn about salads that don't suck. So again, my name is Kristen Hotop. I am a gut health and nutrition coach from Lincoln, Nebraska. I have been in the health and wellness arena for about 3.5 years, almost 4 years now, getting close on that. And I am here today. We're gonna make 3 salads and we're gonna show you some easy things that you can add in to take your salad to the next level. So I know there are lots of people who just think they don't like salads. Well, there is, like I said, some simple things that you can do to create a salad that you want to eat. So hello everyone, thanks for jumping on today. As you're jumping on, go ahead and drop a comment, say hi, and we will go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna make for you today a strawberry green apple chicken salad. We're going to make a millet cucumber avocado salad, and we're going to make a mixed greens and pineapple salads. All right, so the first one we're gonna make is that chicken strawberry green apple salad. So on my cutting board here, I've already started chopping up those green apples. So I have sliced them here, and then we're just going to make a few chops through those. You can do whatever you want, however big you want. If you want them to be smaller than that, you can. I love to have them bite-sized because I like the flavor, I like the crunch, I like the texture that those green apples are going to provide in there. So that is one sliced up green apple. And I've got a second one here. I may end up making this into a larger salad going. So I've got my bowl here. I'm gonna put some lettuce into that bowl, create the base. I also have my jars. So if you want to do this as a jar salad, just remember that the dressing needs to go in the bottom and the lettuce needs to go last at the top. So let's do both. So in my bowl, I've got my lettuce first, and we're gonna make it backwards in that jar. So then the next thing I wanna add in is the chicken. So I cooked this chicken in my Instant Pot, cooled it, seasoned it. It's got some Italian seasoning on it as well as some pepper. And then just I cooked it in water instead of in chicken broth, but you could have cooked it in chicken broth as well. But you may have noticed or not have noticed, but I didn't put any salt on this. And so one of the great things about making your own foods at home is you can control how much salt you put in those foods. And so salt is one of the things that we as Americans use way too much of, and it takes a little while to retrain your palate to not have so much salt. So the best way to do that is to not put salt in while you're cooking. And then if you decide you want a little bit of salt on your food, you put it on at the table as those individual servings. All right, so let's put some chicken here in this salad. So I'm gonna put some chicken in there. That is gonna be our protein for this salad. So we now have our lettuce and our chicken in here, and then I'm gonna put in those strawberries. So I have some fresh sliced washed strawberries that I'm gonna pour in over the top. And then those amazing green apples that we made. So we'll sprinkle those in on the top, and actually that's gonna be enough for this particular bowl. So doesn't that look amazing there? So we've got our lettuce, we've got our chicken, we've got our strawberries, we've got our green apples, and now it's time to make that dressing. All right, so for this one, we're going to make a balsamic Dijon dressing. And one of the great things about this is there's no oil in it. So a lot of the oil and vinegar recipes or the balsamic vinaigrettes that you get are loaded with oil or preservatives if you're buying them from the store. And again, if you're trying to eat healthier, you're gonna wanna cut back on those oils because you only want about 2 tablespoons of oil a day, and that adds up really fast. So let me show you how we're gonna make that dressing. So I've just got a container that I'm gonna whisk in that dressing. Move my knife here out of the way. This is just a regular balsamic vinegar. If I can get the lid off. We're just gonna pour this in here. Let me move this so you can see. We're just pouring it in there. Move my cucumbers out of the way so you can see my dressing there. We're just gonna add some more. So we're gonna go with a 1/2 cup of vinegar, actually a 1/4 cup of vinegar, 1/2 cup's a lot. So we got a 1/4 cup of vinegar, and then we're gonna add in a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So that, again, the Dijon mustard is what we're using to substitute for the oil to add in those flavors. And I think I said a tablespoon, but I meant a teaspoon. So we're gonna use a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And you can use any kind of mustard that you want. It doesn't have to be Dijon. If you don't like Dijon, find a honey mustard. Whatever you want to use to make that your own. And that did not come out very well, but that is our Dijon. And then you want to put some spices in there. So I love the marjoram and oregano. They're part of the same family. If you think oregano has too much kick to it, then go with the marjoram, and that's why I love putting the marjoram on the salads. It is a milder flavor, but it is part of the same family, so you're gonna get a lot of those good health benefits. So let me grab my marjoram, and you can use about a quarter to a 1/2 teaspoon, probably a 1/4 teaspoon on the marjoram. And then I'm just gonna whisk this. Got some on my shoe. I'm gonna whisk it up. Looks like we need a little more mustard in this one here, so I'm actually just gonna squeeze it in. There we go. Ah, much better. So it looks like we need about a tablespoon. I should have gone with a tablespoon the first time. So there is our balsamic Dijon dressing. All right, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of tangy, and we're gonna pour it over the top of the salad. But before I do that, I'm gonna put it in the bottom of my jar, because remember, the jar salad starts with that base. And so you want about 2 tablespoons of dressing in the bottom. But if you like it a little bit more liquid, you can. There's no oil in it, so there's not the fat in it that you get in some of those other salads. So that is that. We're gonna pour this over the top of the salad. And then you can mix that in. And now we have our amazing salad there. We are gonna add a few more spices to it, but I wanna mix up this jar salad quickly. So we're gonna put the chicken and the apples in there, and the strawberries. And then throw that lettuce in on top. And there is that amazing jar salad. Now, I did forget my onions. I'm gonna throw my onions in here. The onions normally would go down in the dressing. That way they can marinate in it, and it makes the flavor even more amazing. All right, so let's add some other, the things that level up your salad. So we talked a little bit about spices. So I love spices. The other thing you're gonna wanna add is some seeds. So we've got a couple different options. We've got flaxseed and chia seed. Both of those are gonna be healthy fats and proteins. So there is 3 grams of protein in the flax, and there is 4 grams of protein in your chia seeds. So that's another great addition. I usually do one or the other just because you're starting to get adding in the fat and the calories. So pick one and go with that. We've also got we've got our amazing fruits in this particular one, so I'm not gonna add anything there. But adding berries, if you didn't already have the strawberries in there, you can add in blueberries, you can add in cranberries. Both of those also level up your salad, so that's another great addition that you can add, and then any other spices that you want to add. And so we already put in the marjoram. You can also add in some pepper. You can add in some curry. You can add in some turmeric, whatever it is that you're wanting to add to your salad. And then we've got some nuts. So we need to put our final touch on our salad today with some nuts. And so I love walnuts. Walnuts are the shape of your brain, so they are gonna help with that brain health piece. Can't get them open today. And so again, your serving size is 1 ounce. You wanna make sure that you are not overdoing it with your nuts and seeds, because they will add in a bunch of the fat and calories to your salad. But just a few, 1 ounce is just a few, like 5 or 6. And it adds to the texture, it adds to the flavor, it adds to the nutrition of your salad. So that is, I can't find my lid, there we go. So that is salad number 1, chicken, strawberry, green apple salad. My special one that I love, it has some extra red onions, and then they both have the almonds in there. And then our dressing is a balsamic Dijon dressing with no oil in it at all. And so this is a great salad that you can level up your nutrition with. So let's move on to salad number 2. Salad number 2 is going to be a millet cucumber avocado salad. And so millet is another great protein, a plant protein that you can add in. And so I've been doing a lot of quinoa, millet's another one, sorghum's another one, barley is another great plant protein, oats is another great plant protein. And so all of these different things, you can choose which plant proteins you want to add in if you are starting to cut back on some of those animal proteins. So we're gonna use millet today. Now the millet is, I went ahead and pre-cooked it. So for this millet recipe, you can see it looks kind of like quinoa. It's just a yellow color. It is an Asian grain. And for this recipe, I toasted it over the burner. So I toasted it and then I cooked it in water, boiled it, cooled it, and then brought it back up to room temperature for this recipe. So that's what we're gonna use today in our salad. So our cucumber millet avocado salad calls for 1/2 cup of millet. So I want to go ahead, I probably could use this container. We're just going to put this over here where you guys can see it. We're going to put the millet in here. It calls for 1/2 cup. I'm going to double it. We'll do 1 cup of millet. Make this there. All right, and then the next thing it calls for is the greens. So actually, I was wrong. Actually, we're gonna need to make our dressing. Need to make the dressing next. All right. So this one is a lemon honey dressing, lemon honey mint, actually. So we're gonna, we've got our lemon zest. So this one calls for a tablespoon of lemon zest and then 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So we've got our tablespoon of lemon zest goes into my container. Get some of these out of the way again. There's my tablespoon of lemon zest. And then it calls for 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So we've got our, let me move the mint leaves over here so I can use my measuring cup. 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And if you want to use fresh lemon juice, absolutely you can. So there is our lemon juice. Season with salt and pepper. So we're just going to use the pepper. Remember from our previous video, we're going to save the salt for the table. And then we are going to put in a tablespoon of honey. So I just used my honey. Squeeze it in. Alrighty. Yeah, just a raw honey. Just regular raw honey. That's what we're gonna use. And then get that in there. And then we're gonna whisk this one up as well. Now it does call for some oil in this one. I'm not going to use the whole 3 tablespoons that it calls for, but I am going to put a little bit in there. Since it is more than 1 serving, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of oil. So just remember in these recipes, don't eat the whole thing. Cut back on the oil if you're not going to eat the whole thing. All right, so that is that. So now we're going to put the cucumber, the mint, and the optional almonds. So we're not going to use almonds today, but we are going to put the cucumber and the mint with the millet. So there is our cup of millet. And then we've got some fresh mint we're going to throw in there. And then we need our cucumbers. So it does call for a pound of cucumbers that have been cut up. So I've got a few that I've already sliced. We're going to toss those in there. And I'm going to slice up the rest here with you. So we've got our cucumbers. I've already washed, cut off some of the skin, slice those up and stick them on in the bowl. All right, so toss those on in there. There is our cucumber, millet, mint. Mix that on up. You can see that it's really starting to come together, and now we just need some dressing. So we're gonna put half the dressing, pour half the dressing over the top. And toss that in. And then we're gonna put a little bit of avocado on the top. So we've got our plant protein with our millet. We've got our cucumbers in there. We're gonna slice up an avocado. So I love doing the avocado, cutting it around like that, and then opening it up, taking out the seed, and then just slicing it. So I slice down the avocado and then slice around to get it out, and then just pop those into the salad. So I'll do the same thing on the other one. Slice around to get them out and pop them into the salad. So we now have our cucumber avocado millet salad. Oops, get those avocados there on the top. And then you can add in anything that you wanted to. So it calls for optional almonds. You can add in the almonds. You can add in the marjoram. If you think the lemon is too tangy, then maybe you want to add in some curry. Curry is a great sweet spice to add in there to just level up that salad. So nuts, seeds, spices are going to level up your salad. So that is salad number 2. The other half of the dressing you're going to pour on your individual servings. So it calls for the pineapple to be caramelized. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let me grab a pan. We've got our burner. It does call for a butter, but you don't have to use anything in your pan. You can just go with the pineapple. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the burner on. We're gonna turn it on to medium high and wait for that to warm up. And then we're gonna stick the pineapple in there and let it caramelize a little bit. And what that does is that brings out the sweetness in that pineapple. All right, so while we're waiting on that to warm up, let's go ahead and jump into the next part of that salad. So here's our bowl that we're gonna use this time. So pretty much the same dressing as we just used in our last recipe. So we're gonna put in that, the rest of the lemon juice that I had in my bottle. And then we're also going to use that fresh lemon that we zested. All right, so if you roll your lemon on your cutting board, it's going to bring out that juice and make it easier to zest. So it looks like here that pineapple is just about, that pan is ready for the pineapple, so we're gonna toss some of that in there and we're gonna let that start to caramelize. So you can see I've got some pineapple in my pan sitting over here on that burner. So we're back to our lemon. I'm gonna slice that in half and then I'm going to juice it into my cup. And you can do it in quarters if you want to, if it's easier to squeeze, whatever works for you. But this is our fresh squeezed lemon juice. All right, so there is our 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And then we need a tablespoon of olive oil. A tablespoon of olive oil and some salt and peppers. Put the pepper on in there. We're going to toss our pineapple a little bit. All right, so now we're ready for our, I'm just going to use this spoon here. Let's stir it up a little bit. All right, so there's the dressing ready on that one. We're ready to put the rest of our ingredients in. So we've got 2 hard-boiled eggs that have already been peeled. So then we're going to slice those up. I'm going to use the same knife as I did for my avocado, because we're going to put avocado in this one too. So, all right, so I sliced those eggs in half. Toss that pineapple a little bit more. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to it, just to bring out that caramelize that sugar. All right, so we'll let that sit. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. And we're gonna go with those mixed greens. So I've got my mixed greens. I just went with a spring mix. You can use an arugula. You could use a spinach, whatever you wanna put in for your mixed greens. So it calls for 2 cups of mixed greens. We're just gonna throw those in here in the bowl. So that is our mixed greens there. We're gonna, pineapple is almost done. We're also gonna put in some bell peppers. So I'm gonna chop these a little bit smaller. Right now they're just sticks. So we'll put the bell peppers in there. The eggs in there like that. We've got our pineapple. So there is our pineapple. Toss that in. Then we got our avocado. Do the same thing as we did last time. We chop it in half, take out the seed, and then put the slices in the middle. Awesome. Looking amazing. And then if we go with our jar, we're gonna put some of our dressing in the bottom. And then our dressing on the top. We put some of those pineapples in with the dressing. I should have not done this way. Then we put our bell peppers. Toss the bell bell peppers in there. So there is our dressing and our pineapple and our bell peppers. And again, I love red onions, so I'm gonna throw some red onions in mine. And then we're gonna put some of that millet in. So right now there's no plant protein in this one. Again, you can use the quinoa, you could use the millet, whatever you wanted to put in there. So I'm gonna put the millet in this one. And we're gonna sprinkle the millet over the top of the bowl. And then the greens. We're actually just gonna use the regular lettuce for my jar salad. Darn it. Oh, it happened. So there is our mixed greens. Well, this is a romaine now. Pineapple, red onions, millet, lemon, and oil vinaigrette. So then that one I'm not gonna put the avocado in just yet. We'll put the avocado in when it's time to eat it. But this one needs some spices. So we're gonna throw in some of that marjoram. We talked about marjoram a little bit earlier. Toss that in on the top. And then we're gonna put some turmeric in this one. So turmeric is another great spice. It's one of the time, and my turmeric's gone. I was looking in my cupboard and I do not have any more, so I'm gonna have to get some more of that as well. But I love turmeric. It is a great spice for inflammation. Great spice. It's one of those orange spices, and so it is also great for your overall health. So you want to make sure you're eating those spices that are greens and reds and oranges. So your chili powder, your turmeric, your cumin are your oranges and reds. Then, paprika is also a good one in there too. Your greens are your marjoram and your oregano and your basil. So anytime you can add in those spices, you're less likely to miss the salt that you would get if you were going out to a restaurant or another place and getting those foods. So this is our amazing mixed greens, avocado, lemon vinaigrette dressing, and then that salad in a jar as well. So thanks for joining me today. If you got value from this, if you love these salads, feel free to tag someone who you think should see this video. Share it to those who want to level up their nutrition as well. Thanks for joining me today. I love making these salads, helping you level up your nutrition and helping you get healthy. Bye, everybody.